Hello and welcome to Michael Pepper Tech Talk. Then this edition of Creator Interviews. This is episode 4 with our special guest Preston from Preston's Thoughts. Bring him in and welcome him to the show. Hey Preston, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
So, I realized something when I was thinking about this, and I didn't put this in the question, but
hmm
so Preston's Thoughts. What's your last name?
Oh, sorry. My last name is Saenz, Saenz. I'm
Okay.
Hispanic, so it's from my dad's side because my dad is Hispanic and my dad's family is Hispanic as well.
¿Te hablas español?
Sí, señor.
Okay. I asked because I took 3 years in high school and 2 years in college, and I actually took 2 years when I was in middle school. So I have like 7 years in it. Of course, it's been a while, but I'm always curious.
It's funny though because I'm Hispanic and I yet I don't really know that much Spanish to be honest with you.
It's not uncommon. I worked with quite a few people that like their parents speak Spanish all the time at home, like to each other and stuff,
But not to them.
but they don't speak like a lick of it, basically. They
Yeah,
understand just enough. Like if their parents are yelling at them or saying something mean about them, they understand that, but that's
yeah.
about it.
That's pretty much how it is.
Let's see. So I have some questions in here, of just kind of get to know you, and then we'll kind of get to know you in like a tech aspect. And then anybody who's watched before or anybody who's new, um, just so you know, feel free to ask questions. I will put those at the end because I am trying to keep this to kind of a certain time frame, and I want to make sure that the specific questions that I go through are covered first.
hmm
If you have something that's related, I will throw it in there. Just so everybody knows that's kind of how I roll when I do um, these episodes. So let me do that. There we go. Okay. So my first question is, where do you live? As in what area? You don't have to be precise, but like what
Hey
part
man.
of the country?
So I live my exact address. No, I'm kidding. I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I go to college at UTSA, which is University of Texas at San Antonio, and I live on
Okay.
campus. So that's where.
I was gonna say I saw your shirt, your UTSA shirt, and I was like,
Yeah,
UTSA, what does that stand for?
that's my college.
That's cool.
Yeah, I live on campus because it's kind of surprisingly around the same price, and it's easier for me to go to classes and stuff like that.
It makes sense. It's especially I know like in certain areas like um kind of larger towns like that.
Yeah, it's
Um
very large.
it makes more sense to live there than to travel because I mean you could live like 5 miles away, but it could still take you a half an hour to get across town.
That
So
happens a lot. So that's why I'm probably gonna live on campus again next year, considering I don't have a car, so that's one thing. And transportation, since it's a big city, right? So transportation is pretty hard. So yeah. And there's buses that go around, but at the same time it's like 30 minutes just to get to campus. Like it's just like I don't know.
and then there's of course this question that probably everybody is curious about because they see you out there and like, hey, there's this young kid. I wonder. So how old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
Okay, so you just
Yeah, it's my first year in college, so I'm 18.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. I probably should have asked that before I had you on here because thinking about it, if you had been under 18, I would have had to specify that in the stream
That's
because there's because
that's
there are people that like could be in college that are 16, 17 years old, especially around here. I don't know if they do that down there, but like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I don't know if they do that down there, but like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I don't know if they do that down there, but like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. our schools around here have programs where you can start like at certain universities or like certain community colleges, like your freshman or not your
Oh, I
freshman,
did.
like your junior or senior year.
Yeah, I did community
So
college classes junior year, sophomore year, and my senior year, I believe. Um, so I'm basically considered a sophomore in credits. I know a lot of people say that, but yeah, at 17, dang, not me. I'm not that smart. Jeez.
somebody said you're legal now, and I just had to respond and be like, not legal to drink or smoke in Michigan.
Yeah, I'm not legal to do mostly anything. I'm just 18.
You're
Either way,
legal to sign contracts and
yeah,
to gamble, and that's about it.
it's okay. Even if I'm 21, I don't like to drink and I don't like to smoke. So,
Yeah. They changed that in Michigan recently. To buy tobacco now went up to 21.
oh, okay,
So,
I heard about that.
and it's because of the whole vaping thing, but I don't want to get into that cuz that's off topic, but
Yeah.
um so we talked about this a little bit, but I'm sure people are curious to know. So, what class or classes are you taking right now?
Oh, right now I'm taking four since it's basically my first year. I'm a marketing major, so I'm taking two of my intro courses for marketing, which is microeconomics and business cal. Those are my two like courses I do need for my major. And then my other classes, I'm just getting what is called rid of my sciences that I need. So I'm taking environmental science as another course, and then business ethics as another course that I also need for my marketing major. So right now I just have four classes.
That's pretty good though. What's the number of credits on that? Do you know?
Each class is 3 credits.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's a full load, I
Yeah,
believe.
I have
So
to in order to live on campus, I have to have a full schedule, or not a full schedule, but be like considered a full time student.
yeah, so you have to have the 12 credits or whatever it usually is.
Yeah, it's around there.
Because I did that. But I was lucky that I got to basically one semester I took 6 credits
Yeah.
during the summer. So that let me take 9 credits the previous semester and the following semester
Hmm.
because they would let me do that so that way I could keep my scholarship because I had to average 12 credits. But if I took half time, which actually is considered full time during the summer because it's only 8 weeks during the summer, so
Yeah.
um, they would let me do that. So that's pretty cool. Apple Monster, I am using the Soundcore Liberties. The Soundcore Liberty 2s, not the Pros. He had the question about which earbuds I was using. So,
Yeah, I saw.
um, so how long have you been making YouTube videos? How long have you been a creator, I should say?
Aha. We always joke around because when I was younger, my brother and I had a channel, and it's so bad, but we sometimes we'd go back and what is called watch the old videos. But like actually doing YouTube videos from like my channel, not long to be honest with you. Let's see, 5 months. It's only been 5 months.
Well, you're doing pretty good because that's about I've been doing that. My first video was over a year ago, but I only consider because I did one video and then was gone for like 4 months and then came back. So I only consider after that. So then it's been about 9 months, ten
I
months. Let's
I
see.
see.
May, yeah, 9 months because it was May, end of May then. So,
Hmm.
what made you want to become a creator?
Okay, well, in high school, well, I mean, I like technology, and in high school, like a lot of people didn't like have the same passion for it, I guess you could say. So like nobody would talk, or like people that would talk about it would just say like dumb shit, and then I'd have to just take it or not. I'd be considered the hater or whatever, like they would always say. So I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna make a channel, and I just went from there.
It's it's pretty simple. Some people have like this whole long story of complicated, and it's like,
No,
okay.
mine is literally just people would say that my opinions were dumb, and then they turn out to be true later on, and then I'd be, I told you so. And then I decided, you know what? I don't want to talk to people about it that don't understand what they're saying, so I'll just make YouTube videos, and hopefully I can create a community or make friends that know more about tech to talk about, actually have like good conversations about technology, not like, well, I like this phone because I like it.
Yeah, people that actually have some sort of um, like gusto, some sort of like something behind what they're actually talking
Yeah.
about, not
So
just
like,
I like it because I like it or I like it because this, and actually kind of dig deep into the background or like the technology or or like
the
the
reason.
finer aspects of things. It's like
Yeah, so like in high school, what is it called? They'd ask me like for tech advice or whatever, because I was considered the tech tech whiz or whatever. And then every single time they'd ask me, what phone should I buy? I would never tell them to buy an iPhone, and what is it called? Because, well, we're in high school, right? And obviously, they're not the ones paying for the phone. So I would keep in mind, like, consider like the parents, like, dude, you don't need an iPhone every phone you get. Like, Android phones are just as good. So I tell them, oh, this is a cheap and good Android phone that you should get. And then they'd be like, ew, it's Android. And I'm like, oh my God. Welcome to 21st century, I guess.
well, my first phone was not a smartphone. I actually had an old Nokia that had like the antenna that slid up out of the top. And then I had an LG that was a flip phone. And then I had uh a Samsung Galaxy S3 was like my first smartphone. And then I had a bunch of like HTC and all these like weird brands that I don't even remember what they are in between there. And then eventually an iPhone 4. And then I kind of went back and forth between like I had the iPhone 4 and I had that for until like the iPhone 6 came out and went back and forth between that. So
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of funny because it's like everybody, I feel like everybody now it's like their first phone was a smartphone, like unless like because so much of the community I feel like is just old enough now that that's kind of true. So yeah. It's funny to think though, because we're only 6 years away from being that people who are 18 years old could be born after the first iPhone. Like, it's crazy to think.
Yeah.
So, what is your daily carry? So, which phone do you use as like your primary device or whatever? I guess would be the
Um,
question.
well, the phone I use as my daily carry because, I mean, I don't have the options to just buy a new phone or get a new phone whenever I want. It's my S10 Plus that I've been using for a year. I got it, pre-ordered it when it came out, because whenever I'm trying to buy a phone, I try to get the best bang out of my buck. Considering I'm not really the one paying for it, it's my parents. Because back like last year I was in high school still and I didn't have a job, of course, because where I live it's kind of hard to get a job in my area that I went to high school, because like it's kind of ghetto, so there's that. And then um so I bought the S10 Plus when it was on sale. I traded in my old phone and got it on sale, and I think I got the price down to like uh I could have sworn it was around like 700 instead of the $1,000 that it first came out. So I was pretty happy with that.
That's a good deal. It's funny because you say that, and it's like that's a great phone. Like, in all honesty, that's like if I were somebody's like, hey, I want to get a new Samsung phone,
You tell them the
I
S10
would be like,
Plus. Yeah.
get last year's, get like an S10 Plus or even a Note 10 Plus, because you can get one of those for like, they're selling for like $500, like
Yeah.
brand new.
Like
So
my newest video, I was talking about what is called flagship killers of 2020, and last year's flagships are now considered flagship killers of 2020 because of how much the prices have gone down. So the S10 Plus on Amazon right now, you can get it renewed. I know it's renewed, but like that doesn't really make up a difference when it comes to like the quality. It's like under 500 at the moment. And then the Google Pixel 3 XL is like $282. Like that's a steal.
that's crazy.
You predicted the future. Everyone's asking about the fact that I don't have a webcam.
I told you it's why I'm the interview guy, because I know people I could predict it. Like I told you that at least 3 people would ask, and we already had, yep, at least I think 3 people all asked so far. It's funny.
Yes.
I just appreciate, and just real quick, thanks Tech for Your Needs and Apple Monster for answering the questions. It's really hard. So anybody who's either listening to this or watches this in replay, um, I'm using StreamYard, and I have the live chat popped out from YouTube up next to it. But it's really hard to talk to somebody yet and respond to the chat. So I really appreciate everybody in the chat kind of interacting and helping each other and um, answering questions, because I can't do 5 things at the same time. I only have 2 hands. I can type and I can ask you questions, but I'm trying to not have that lag in there. So I just wanted to say thank you for that to everybody. And I should do something real quick. There you go. So let's see. S10 Plus. Which device are you most looking forward to using in 2020? And it does not have to be a smartphone. It can be a laptop. It can be a tablet. It can be a camera. It can be anything tech related, basically.
The Google Pixel 4a is what I'm looking forward to. I'm all for budget devices, and I love the Pixel 3a. So I want to see the next one.
So funny thing about that is basically that was the device that changed my mind about some of these companies and about Google, because it was one of these, like, everybody harped, on the Pixel 4 and Pixel 4 XL, and I still believe like there are some concerns, especially for people that are hard heavy users. And what was funny for me though is I got the 3A XL, and um that was one of those devices I was like, I could easily just use this device. And like, for a device that's literally like 20% of the cost of, well, 25% of the cost of my most expensive device, I don't really need much more for typical use. Now, where it became an issue was my smartphone is an investment. I don't know, like yours would be too, right? So
Yeah.
you can use your smartphone to record, edit, stream, do all your stuff. And for me, that cost was cheaper than looking into like upgrading my DSLR and getting a new lens and then having to get a new computer and laptop and stuff. It's like once I figured that out, it's like I'm looking at $3,000 to $4,000 right there. It's like I'll just use my smartphone. My old phone was dying out and had a crack in it, and so it's one of those use what you have. And so
Yeah, for sure.
the the Pixel 4a should be good. Um, it'll be interesting because we don't really know what they're going to do because there wasn't a Pixel 2a. So last year was our first kind of experience with what do they do to be different between the main line, the 3 and 3XL, and the 3A and the 3AXL. So we'll have to see this year, like, what are they going to add? Are they going to add the second camera in? Are they going to, so far, because I don't know if you've seen any of the leaks or not, but it looks like people basically the 4A could end up actually looking better than the 4.
Yeah,
And
I saw the leaks and I was like, dang,
the
looks
the
very
thing that
nice.
got me was battery life.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. It's like the old, what is it called? The iPhone 11 and XRs.
it's to me, from everything I've used, I got like the second best battery life out of any of my phones. Basically, my 11 Pro Max is at the top, and then my 3AXL was below that. I mean, the
Yeah,
sad thing for me is I can get like 16 to 18 hours of screen on time out of my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and I'll
yeah,
get like 9 or 10 out of everything else. But like some of my stuff, I was getting like 6 hours, 8 hours, which
yeah,
isn't bad, but and I went 3 days on that thing. We were gone on a weekend. That's important too, that people don't kind of look at. So.
hmm. So I got the, what is it called? It to work on my phone, so I'll join in on my phone and you guys can see me since they're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I will drop out the other version of you and then bring you in that way. Okay.
Yes. Hello. This is me. And for some reason, the video, what is it called? It's kind of backwards. I don't know how to fix that when it comes to like the video recording. I don't know
It's
why.
so it must be something to do with how inside Chrome or whatever it
Oh, I'm using
orients.
the Samsung camera app. Let's see. Is this backwards? No, it's not. What if I just do this? Ta-da. Okay, tell me if you can see me.
I can see you. That's fine.
Okay, this is a good angle. And how does it sound?
Talk a little bit. Just like
Hello.
ramble.
I don't know. I'm just talking, trying to fix it because it looks too far away, in my opinion. Is it using the wide angle camera? Wait a minute. I think it is.
Probably.
Yeah, it looks all like um. It looks weird. So I put it closer. Hopefully that's better. I look
So
super long,
are
even
you
though I'm not.
using like the function where it um
I
shows
just
up
flipped
over
the
on your computer then?
No, I'm seeing it through what is it called? Your live stream.
Oh, okay. So there'll be
Yeah,
a little bit of a I was gonna
delay.
say there'll be a little bit of a delay then, like
Well, I can always just
25 to
flip it
30
back. It
seconds.
doesn't matter. I don't think you mind if it's backwards for whatever reason.
I
'Cause,
don't care.
yeah, my hair, like, if this is my right hand, so it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know.
Wait a minute, that's my right hand.
Okay, so it's backwards for you too.
Yeah, it's gonna be backwards because I don't know why it's just the way it is.
It just does.
Probably
It's just awkward to see.
I was gonna say you actually look clearer and I can hear you better this way because before you almost sounded a little muffled.
Oh, maybe it's
So
because I can. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. It's my phone mic instead of my headphones. StreamYard is weird when it comes to the mic on your headphones. I don't know why.
it
Very.
is very weird. So what would be your ultimate, what would make up your ultimate smartphone as far as like screen size, resolution, cameras, processor, operating system, charging, all that stuff, battery capacity? Like if you were to build a smartphone from raw and you had access to everything, what would you do?
So
And it
I
can be
probably have.
ridiculously crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so well, since I really like photography, right? So I'd obviously have like a DSLR type, what is it called, camera sensor in there, like a full frame camera sensor. Sounds crazy, but that's probably something I'd want. So I don't have to carry my camera 24/7. And then I'd also have it take in raw images, of course. Raw is always better. And then for my screen, it would be a 120 hertz HDR10 plus OLED, what's called selfie camera under the display, so you can't see it. No bezel. It would probably be a flat screen. I don't like curves on my phones, even though I have an S10 Plus. I do prefer flat screens, so I probably have it flat as well. And the sides would be made out of what is it called, stainless steel, like they do on the iPhones. And then the back would be what is called the same frosted finish on the back of the iPhones because I do enjoy that as well. So that's pretty much what I'd have.
So that sounds kind of like you would be taking a blend between. Let me take it out of the case real quick. But if
Hmm.
you were to take
Oh, I disappeared. Oh yeah, the OnePlus 7T.
that phone, because it has the frosted the frosted back to it,
Hmm.
and put like the under display sensor, and I was gonna say they can see you in the chat, by the way. I don't know why
Yeah.
you disappeared on that was weird. It might have been the delay from when I dropped you out earlier and brought you
Oh,
in on the other.
you guys can still see me even if I do that. Oh, but then I can't hear you. Oh, never mind. That was weird.
So it sounds like basically you're looking for something that could potentially be the Note 20 this year.
No, I don't think so. I
Pretty
like
or
Samsung.
close to, because
I like
there's actually
Samsung, but I doubt they'll do it.
so from what I've heard is the next version of the Fold is going to have the under display camera sensors.
We can all
So
hope and
there's
wish for that, but I honestly don't think that's gonna happen. If it does happen, it's gonna be like that. Remember that like old rumor leak that they showed off like later on? I forgot how long ago it was, but it showed off that camera system like being under this display. I think it was Oppo or something like that, and they showed it
it
off.
was.
Yeah, and it didn't look good. Like the camera did not look good at all. It looked like it was fuzzy and stuff like that. So even if they did implement it, it wouldn't look good. And I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't need in the Galaxy Fold. I don't even think you need a selfie camera when you open it up. Like I don't know. That's just me. If you're gonna do that, just make it like the iPad Pro inside. Like have a thicker bezel and then put the selfie camera up at the top, so it's like an equal bezel around the screen. But the fact that the original Galaxy Fold had like the notch, like the cutout at the top, I thought that was pretty ugly, and it was unnecessary to me. I didn't think it was really worth it that they did that. So yeah,
And it's
I didn't think
weird
they need
because
like just take selfie cameras with the phone closed. I know the screen's small and like weird aspect ratio, but you don't need cameras inside the phone. Like just make it a huge screen. That's just me.
I actually posted a question um couple weeks ago about whether people would buy a smartphone with no front facing camera. And a lot of people are like, why would I do that? But I think their assumption was that meant that there would be no way to take a selfie. I didn't say
Yeah.
that there couldn't be some alternative, like you can turn it around and there could, because there are phones that do that already. All the
Mhm.
models where they have a screen on the back. For me, I would like to see something like the 360 mod,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you just like, if you need to take a front facing picture, you just like slide it into the USB-C port and flip your phone upside down, and there's your selfie. Like, because I don't ever use the front facing camera, so I would like to just not have it if I don't. Like, just make a model that doesn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but like for me, I don't really use the selfie camera either, but that's because like I don't like taking selfies. Like I don't know. I guess that's just like a guy thing. Like it more pertains to girls. That's why they have all these beauty features on the ones from like Samsung and stuff like that. It's because they're pertaining to the audience in like Asia, Koreans, and like Japanese and Chinese and all those people, and some even Americans because they do it too. But if you see most of like, okay, I don't know if you use TikTok, but like if you go onto TikTok, they obviously use that. I don't know why. Like it sometimes show up like what is called Korean people, and it's obvious that they like using the beauty features that the Samsung camera have because it's obvious that they're on, right? But what is it called? I guess they're trying to pertain to that audience, and if they cut out the selfie camera, then they're cutting off like 50 or 75% of their audience that actually wants to use it, because
That's
a lot
true.
of girls like to take selfies. So I don't think they'll ever do that because then they're just gonna like kill their audience. Because it's not just guys who buy phones; it's also girls. Like everyone buys smartphones, so they're trying to
That's true.
pertain to both of them.
And I think, I mean, that's why I really wanted to get the OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren edition, but the down payment on that thing was like $200 more than the down payment on the 7T. So nope.
Yeah.
Just for the ability to have that bezel-less front screen like that, then I'm glad I didn't, because I like that flat display, like you said,
Yeah.
and that's the one complaint I have about my Note 10 Plus. Between that and the hole punch camera,
Hmm.
which I don't think is any better than like a not really any better than the teardrop. It's
Hmm.
just weird to me. So
Yeah, I don't know. I
I was,
do, whenever people talk about like what's called mechanical parts in smartphones and how it's a flaw. Now, I don't know if you've seen, but there's like a video on YouTube that I saw about the Oppo Find X, the old one when it first came out, and we were talking about all those whenever like mechanical parts in smartphones barely became a thing. What's it called? The Oppo Find X was the first people to like actually like bring it out. So it was the what is called the Next phone. I remember that one as well. But people are talking about how those mechanical parts in smartphones are bad, et cetera, for obvious reasons. And then the dude that had it made a video like
that's better.
1 year later showing that his phone was still fine. And then he made another video 2 years later, and it had some sort of a little bit of damage to it. It wasn't bad, right? It looked just like normal use and wear that you get on a smartphone. So the fact that people are still saying that, like, what is it called? It does a lot of damage on your smartphone over time. Well, in some cases, yes, if you're dumb and you throw your phone into the water or some dumb thing like that. But at the same time, just if you take care of it, it'll be fine. Over time, like 3 years from now, maybe the phone will, what is called, get kind of wonky when it comes to the camera popping up and down. But honestly, when it came to the OnePlus 7 Pro, like no one people were saying that it was going to like mess up and be faulty, but there's an obvious reason why MKBHD uses it as its daily driver. Like it's a great phone, and people are knocking it just for the selfie camera. I just think that's a plain and dumb argument, considering what is it called? You can use it when it's there, and then when you don't want to use it, it's not there and it's not in the way. So.
Yeah, it's just like the 3 times that I would use it in the time that I would own that phone,
Hmm.
it would be okay to have it there. Because the thing is, too, with the under display, the fingerprint sensors that they use are really fast. And
Yeah.
even how fast it pops up to recognize your face,
Hmm.
like to unlock, is plenty fast. It's like 0.6 seconds or something like that. That's
Yeah.
fast enough. And then it just goes away, and you probably don't even realize it's doing it.
Hmm.
So, so you already answered this question, but so I guess we don't necessarily have to cover that because you already kind of answered that question.
Oh, that's true. I did.
So is there a particular person you would like to work with? Like, it can be anybody. Like somebody
That's a
you'd
hard
like
one.
to collaborate with, whether it's like on your channel or be on their channel, and it
Honestly,
could be
I have a
anybody.
lot. but it's like far. It's like a reach if I actually want to like work with them. You know, like I'm reaching because they're so much bigger than I am. But what's called? I'd say I do. Like I don't know why. I really like Mr. Mobile. Oh, Mr. Mobile. That's who I probably want to work with. I don't know. His style is just really nice and clean, and his audio game is like up there with MKBHD's. You know, his like
Well,
microphone setup and stuff. It's great.
he's got a good first name too, so
Yeah.
it's funny to me how many Mikes and Michaels there are in
Yeah.
the tech world, but then thinking about it, that was like the second most common name for like 30 years straight, so it makes
Yeah.
sense. Dr. Donna, Mr. Mobile he was on Viper's stream like a month or so ago. So he's Michael
Yeah.
Fisher.
Yeah. I put
It's
the
Mr. Mobile, so
link in the chat.
okay, thank you. Cool. So yeah, I don't
I'm
care if
surprised-
people do that. Some people
Yeah.
get annoyed, like don't drop links, and it's like I don't care.
He still hasn't hit 1 mil subs, and I'm kind of mad that he hasn't hit 1 mil subs yet. Because his content's great, but I
And
guess that's just
this
how
is
you.
kind of the last question that I had in there, but and then we'll just kind of talk and whatever, and people can ask questions, and we'll hang out for a little bit. And so,
Okay.
what are your goals as far as like this year? And it can be with your channel, it can be with life, whatever.
Well, of course, I want to grow my channel. You know, I don't know how much like a reasonable goal would be. I'm at 159 or 160, something like that, and I kind of want to at least try to hit like 300, 400. I don't know if that's reaching for a lot, but considering the beginning of the year, I was like 100. I think I was at like 100 by the end of the year, like starting January. I already like second month into the year, I'm already at 160 or 159. So I don't think it's unreasonable to say like maybe I'll try to hit 300 or like 400 around there anytime soon. I mean, if I could pop off and like a random video like do really well, that'd be great. But to keep it reasonable, I'd probably just go for 300, 400 subs by the end of the year.
Well, let's see. You said 5 months and you're at almost 160. So
Yeah.
that's 32 a month. So we're 2 months in, 10 months. I mean, yeah, if you continue to progress at the same rate that you're at, you would hit about 500.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I don't know how.
So even if you don't, you'll hit you'll easily double your subscribers, because like I had some weird stuff go on in like the last 2 weeks on my channel. Like I was up to 170 some subs, and then it went down to like 150, and then backed up to 170.
Yeah.
And then in like the last 2 weeks, then it jumped from 170 to 206. So that's kind of crazy to me. Like 23% increase was crazy to me. But I think it's because the algorithm finally knows what I'm doing, and they're like, oh, he does these live streams and it's okay to suggest him. Because I think when I first started doing more of the live streams more frequently and doing these creator interviews, it was really confused with what I was going to do. And it was like, he's doing regular videos and live streams, so we don't know what to suggest. We don't know what to put out there. And I think it's finally figured it out. And it's been crazy to me though. So, do you know offhand, perhaps, what your top video as far as like views is?
Oh yeah, I do. Let's go to my channel. I remember it. I don't know if it's which one it is because I made an updated version and that one's doing well as well. Let's just go to sort by most popular. Yeah, it's my. That's funny. Okay, both videos. So I did a Gcam port for the S10 Plus when Android 10 came out, and right now it has 3.3 thousand views in 3 months. And then I made an updated version 1 month, what is called 1 month ago, and it's at the same view count. So the newer version should beat the older version in views soon, considering it was released 1 month ago and it's already at the same amount of views as the one that was released 3 months ago. And out of those 3,000 views on both videos, I've gained like 5 subs from those videos. Actually, kind of annoyed, but it's whatever.
Yeah, because let's see here. For me, my top viewed video is kind of crazy because literally my face is not in it, and it's
Uh-huh.
actually completely screen captured. And it was
Oh,
my how to do an Apple ID without using having to have a credit card or a debit card,
uh-huh.
because somebody wanted to know. They were like, somebody just asked the question, can I set up an Apple account and download free apps without having to have a credit card or a debit card in there?
Yeah.
And there were no videos on YouTube, I looked, that showed how to do this. They all said, yeah, you can do it, but none of them showed. So I literally sat down and like did this quick 2-minute video.
Hmm.
And let's see here.
You know what also did well, surprisingly? I didn't know, but what is it called? My Nockies KP1, what is it called? Review? Because remember the giveaway they did? And I
Yeah.
won it, right? It has 448 views. I actually did pretty well on it. Huh.
So that video has 5,683 views in the last 28 days.
Oh, well, that's great.
And it's like a third of my overall views are that video, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind
So,
of saddening
so,
to me though, because it's like you do 60 videos and one of them accounts for like 35% of my views.
yeah, I mean, some of my videos do really well, and then some of my videos don't. It's random. Like, I did a Motorola Razr video, and it didn't do that well until like 1 week later. And then I did a mouse review, a keyboard review, and then a Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus review. I did those, and then it took it like a week, and then it just suddenly shot up in views. Like I think the first week it was over, it only had like 30 views, and now the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus video that I did is that's sitting at like 207 right now.
Well,
So
they say if you hit 10% of your number of subscribers in views, so like if you get 16 views within like 24 hours, you're doing pretty good.
yeah,
So
and then like my CES 2020 videos did really well. So there's that.
yeah, it's weird though, because for me, like my top videos are like drastic opposite ends of what I would think they would be. So I have that video that's Apple related, and then like my next top videos are my LG G8 stuff. So like it's like I figured that would be the worst because I figured as much as people slammed that phone that like nobody would own it and nobody would want to watch those videos. But I think it's because the wicked deals they're having on them where you can get that phone for like $250 now. So people are going out and looking for these videos and they're like, what can I find about this on YouTube? And mine's going to pop up because it's more recent, and the way I titled it and tagged it and things like that helps. So it's just random.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my views are just weird. Like so my older videos got like 20 views, 30 views, etc. And then they just shot up from there, and I just got lucky when it
It's
came to
weird
like.
to it's weird how that works though, isn't it? Like the videos that you expect to do better are usually the ones that don't, and then the ones that you're like, oh, I'm just gonna do this real quick are the ones that take off. At least that's the way it's been for me. Like the videos I worked on the hardest are the ones that get like 50 views for weeks.
Yeah.
And the one I
For me,
sat down and did like very little and literally recorded the audio on the phone and threw it up in like 10 minutes are the ones that get the crazy. It's like, what the heck? And it's kind
I
of one
mean,
of those, like, why do I put that effort into it if it doesn't?
I
Well, because
mean, it
eventually it
happens,
will.
but at the same time, what it's called, all my videos, considering I'm in college, right? So I don't have a lot of time to do stuff. Like most of my videos are just impromptu speaking. And if I stutter, I'll just edit that part out. Or like if I like pause for a certain amount of time, like I'll just edit it out. But most of my stuff is just like, that's why it's called Preston's Thoughts, because like I don't have a script for my videos, and I don't plan on ever doing scripts for my videos. I actually did try doing it for one of my videos, and it did pretty well. I just didn't have that much fun doing it because like I was just reading off of like a script. And first, a lot of creators that do it like professionally, I know that's like what they do. But since my channel is based on whatever I'm thinking, it doesn't make sense for me to make a script considering my videos are based off of my thoughts, and my thoughts just come straight from my head. So might as well just do it impromptu and be like, hey, this is what I think, and yeah, that's pretty much that's what
Yeah,
I do.
I don't script any of my stuff. The only time I ever did anything script related was when I did a collaboration video, and basically we wrote back and forth like what we were gonna do in like a discussion. So like he asked a question, I did an answer, and like back and forth like that, and then I'd throw in questions every once in a while. So that when I sat down to record and I recorded my part, I had
Hmm.
something to go off from, but I kind of ad libbed, like I went off from the script and added in stuff and to make it more natural. And then I sent that to him, and then he added in his parts. Well, you kind of
Yeah,
have to script it because otherwise he wouldn't know what I was going to say to like, and I wouldn't know what questions he'd have. So, um,
yeah,
it's been crazy. I was like, what? Everybody's dropping in tonight, and it's all like people that I normally don't see. So that's kind of cool to see because usually I have like, there'll be same kind of people. So I like seeing new people in here. So it's kind of awesome.
yeah. That's cool. Get more traction, you know. I wanted to do a stream. What is it called? I've always wanted to do a stream, but I think I'm gonna wait until like I'm bigger, or if I even get bigger. This is like an idea, and then I'll do. But I won't do it on YouTube. I'll do it on Twitch. I wanted to do it on Twitch mainly because I wanted to separate my YouTube from my Twitch. I already have the account made and all that stuff, but I'm just waiting at this point because I mean it's there. But if I do it right now, like two people are gonna watch, and since what is it called? It's Twitch and not YouTube. That means I'll get even less people that might watch, considering what is it called? People don't want to spend the time to go to Twitch instead of just going to YouTube or whatever. So that's just like an idea I have for the future. Do a live stream, and then what I want to do. I mean, this might be like um, what's it called? Saturday Night Tech Fight, but hey, it's just an idea. I don't know if I'll do it. What it's called? Do you know what Discord is?
I do.
Okay, so what I wanted to do, wait, should I even say this? People are gonna steal my idea. I don't care. I'll still do it even if they steal it. But what is it called? What I wanted to do was, it was so if I had like a big audience or like at least like a couple or like 50 people watching at the same time, which is like a lot. But what is called? I'd post a question, right? And I'd have everyone in the Discord server. And one of the channels would be called Yes, and one of the channels would be called No, for like what is called the voice chats. You know, you can have multiple voice chats.
Yeah. Yep.
So I have one for me, and then one for yes and no. And what is it called? The people that agreed with the question I put up, like on my live stream, would join the voice chat yes, and then the people that didn't agree, would join the voice chat no. And then I'd pull one randomly in from the yes category and one randomly from the no category, and they give 2 minute or like a minute response or debate each. And then what is it called? I would say who I agree with more, and then we'd see what the chat agreed with. I'm like Saturday Night Tech Fight is basically tech YouTubers, but I wanted to do it with everyone. So that's why the Discord server would be pretty cool. That's kind of what I want to do.
I think that would be a good idea, and you could even like do a kind of a random number generator. So
Yeah,
like you put in like 1 to, so let's say there's like 15 in each, you'd put in like 1 to 15, hit
yeah,
it, and then you'd hit it again, and then whichever number that landed on would be like the one you grabbed from from the S, and then the second one would
yeah.
be from the, so you'd have no idea.
Yeah, I would have no idea. And it's just like cool because I wanted more people to learn about technology, you know? Like you don't even have to be a tech person. Like you if you agree with my statement, then you can join. And they'd be pretty broad topics, so it wouldn't be very like if you've seen Saturday Night Tech Fight, I was on it with you. What is it called? Most of the topics were very like they were very strict, right? So it's just like, do you like cameras? Do you think cameras are more important on a smartphone or something like that? Like they're very, the topics were very, they weren't broad, right? They were just like a one-liner, and that's all you'd go off. I'd probably try to make broad topics. Now, the reason why Saturday Night Tech Fight works really well is considering that the fact that most people that watch it and are a part of it are tech YouTubers or enjoy tech. But if we wanted to pull in like everyone, which is kind of what I want to do, since it's like a random, now we might have those like joke ones that join in that don't know anything and just want to like joke around and stuff, which is fine. I can just kick them out. But the topics would be broader in the sense of like, for example, we could have a topic like the basic one that everyone always talks about, Android versus Apple, which is a very broad topic, or what is it called? Android cameras versus iPhone cameras, which is also a very broad topic. So like a bunch of broad topics about technology. Not it could be even more than just what's called smartphones. So like Windows versus Mac computers, or which ones do you prefer, or is Windows computers better than Mac computers, and why, et cetera, et cetera. Like they're very broad topics, but I think it'd be more interesting because then you can pull in people that just use those products but don't know a lot about them and hear why they get them. Like I know it's kind of cringe, but that's what people call the average consumer type of thing that they always say. So like you could pull in a bunch of average consumers that are just there to like say, hey, I like this product because so and so. Now if they just say I like this product because I like this, then it's kind of like pointless, but at the same time it's also giving them the chance to hear the other side, and maybe if they're thinking about buying a certain different product that's part of that's not Apple or that's not Android or that's not Windows, um, what is it called? They can hear the reasoning why the other person likes the product, and maybe it'll sway them to be like, maybe I will try out this product. Like for example, like Google Home versus the HomePod. Like why would I get the HomePod if I have the Google Home? Or why do people enjoy using the Google Home over the Apple HomePod, and what are the benefits to each one, or Amazon Alexa for that matter as well? So just very broad topics to get like people interested in and just have fun.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I had something similar to that I had thought about doing, and I was like, I'm not sure that I'd want to, but I actually thought about doing something kind of like that, but more of like a Q&A. So
Uh-huh.
literally what I would do is I would put something out there and I would say, I'm going to be on this day at this time from like for like an hour. Anybody who wants to come on can come on. You come up with a question in which side you're going to take and challenge me.
Yeah, yeah.
So like have people come on and you could come on and you could be like, you could hop on and be like, Android is better than iOS. You give your part and then we just kind of debate, but not necessarily in the idea of, because here's the thing. So in all honesty, I could take either side of all those questions that you asked and probably convince
Exactly.
somebody either way. So
That's the
the
point.
fun of it though is like for me would be more of like, can I come up with things on the spot and and also to educate people, because it's really
Uh,
difficult to come up with questions like for yourself sometimes, and it would be
yeah,
cool just to see what other people think, and then there might be somebody that hops on with something I have no idea about,
yeah,
and I just kind of have to figure out what I know and just pull it out of nowhere, because somebody could hop on and talk about how the background behind a certain photo editing program is better, like Final Cut is better than Adobe Premiere or whatever. Like they could
yeah,
say that and I would be like, I mean, I do know things about those, but it would be more of a challenge in certain aspects. Because obviously I was a photo major, so I should know somewhat, but like
Yeah.
if they went really in depth, so it'd be cool to see just something like that. But do it
Mhm.
like a Q&A style. So like somebody can hop on, they can ask me a question, or they can throw in like a challenge and just have fun, because
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when there's the debates that go down, it's like one side has to be right and the other side has to be wrong, and sometimes that isn't the case. Like both can be right.
Mhm.
So it would be cool just to do that. I mean, so
Yeah.
but, as far as like wanting to wait to stream until your channel gets bigger or whatever, what I would say is just do it whenever. You don't worry about like the size of, because for me, and for a lot of people, I feel like that actually helps their channel grow because people can interact with you. So if you have a smaller channel, because that's the one thing I've noticed, like bigger channels when they do stream, it's hard for like their loyal fans to come in and actually interact because you'll have like 100 people chatting.
Yeah.
So, it's just a thought. Um, and also, what I like with streaming too, what I found is it makes you really more comfortable in front of the camera because you can't just stop. You kind of have to, well, you can, but when you're doing your video, if you can't think for like 2 minutes, you can just stop and then you can just go into the video and just crop out where there's blank noise and cut it
Yeah.
out. Well, you can't really do that in real life. Like if I just sat here for like the next 5 minutes and couldn't think, people will
Yeah.
see it. So it's fun.
I mean, I've live streamed before in the past. Like I used to live stream video games and stuff like that, and I got like 50 followers, so I got the sub button on Twitch and all that. But I wanted to do it tech related for fun, you know?
Also, what I was gonna tell you is, oh my gosh, what is it called? It's called Stream something, not StreamYard. What
Streamlabs?
is it? Streamlabs.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice because
that's what I use
well, and you can do that on your phone, and you can do it to like YouTube and Twitch.
at the same time. Yeah, with the Mob
Yeah.
Crush Twitter. But the
So
problem with doing it to YouTube, if you don't have they they recommend when you live stream to do it on a separate channel when you're smaller because they don't, like you said, they don't know what to recommend. And I don't want to get into a drought if I live stream one time on YouTube and then it just goes downhill. So I think I
that's
just
true.
yeah, I think I just would want to also just keep my live stream on one platform or one channel and keep my something sort of like what Viper does. That's probably what I want to do.
Yeah. I thought about that. Like I put out the question on Twitter, like, should I keep doing this and do my regular videos on here, or should I separate them?
Uh-huh.
And um it was one of those like I'm still thinking about it because people told me to just leave it. And I'm still thinking because I don't want it to get to the point where I have like 300 live streams and like 4,000 videos and I try to separate it and then I
Mhm.
lose like all those views from one or the other and like it messes with things or like I lose subscribers because they don't know to go over to another, they don't go over to the other channel or whatever. Cause some people just, people are lazy in general and they
Yeah.
don't want to like go over to another channel. So
Mhm.
that's kind of why I'm just kind of doing what I'm doing. And, but I
Yeah.
might do that. I might just take all my regular videos, download them and just create like a separate channel and change this to like Michael Pepper Live and then do the other one as, or I guess it'd be easier to go the other way around since I only have like 11 or 12 live videos and just take those to another and just call it Michael Pepper Live and leave this as Michael Pepper Tech Talk. And
Mhm.
before, because that's the other thing, like, is if you get up there and you're monetized and you have like 5,000 subscribers, trying
Yeah.
to convince them to also go to another channel is probably more difficult than right now being like, hey, if you want to watch my live, it's going to be over on another. And I can just mention it even like, in my regular videos, at the end of the video, be like, hey, I'll be live tomorrow, by the way. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about?
Trying to think. Honestly, I mean, we pretty much covered mostly everything.
That was fun. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, for sure.
So, I
Is
think
there like
there's
a time limit?
no, I usually try to keep it around an hour. I've had it go one last week. It went to an hour and 42 minutes, and I was really shocked, but it was because some people just, I don't want to sound bad, but some people can just talk and talk and talk.
I mean, I can, but when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, you just got to know when to keep your mouth shut and continue the conversation and then know when it ends. That's
Yeah, that's
basically.
true. That's what I appreciate, because like some people will literally could go on for a half an hour like per question, and we would have been here for like 5 hours just from one side with that. It's like,
Yeah, it's not an enjoyable experience. You're just like, okay, keep it going, like stop
so
stalling.
yeah, so for me, I try to keep these from like an hour to an hour and a half, because the idea is they're episodes. So
Yeah, for
then
sure.
when somebody watches them later, and the other thing I found out is the higher the percentage of the video that somebody watches, it appears better. So like if you have a 5-minute video and somebody watches 4 minutes of it versus like you do a 10-minute video and somebody watches 4 minutes of it, they watch the same length, but they watched, 80% on the one and 40% of the other. That
Yeah.
like it doesn't the it doesn't like it if people are just coming in and watching like 1 or 2 minutes of 10-minute videos versus like
Mhm.
a few minutes of. So fortunately with these streams, people tend to hang out for a decent amount of time, and I get a decent amount of rewatch and things like that. So uh, that's kind of nice. But
Mhm.
um, so well, I guess since I think there's another stream that just started, I'm guessing. So because usually that's why I started. That's why I do these around 7 o'clock. Because the thing
Yeah.
is, then I can be, because around 8 o'clock usually people hop on. So
Yes.
but well, thank you for coming on. If you ever have any questions about anything, need anything, want to hop on, or you decide to go live on,
Mhm.
whatever platform, and you're like, hey, I want somebody to join me so I'm not here by myself, because I know some people get weird about that. Like I've
Yeah.
actually had people ask me before, hey, will you hop on with me, since it's like my first, um, I'm here. I'm usually don't have much going on, so just hit me up. So
Okay. Sure.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
So that was episode 4 of Michael Pepper Tech Talk with Preston's Thoughts. I will put links to his stuff in the description, his channel, his Twitter, and whatever else he wants me to throw down there. Thank you for joining me. And as of course, all my links are down there as well as a support link if you want to help the channel is down there. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who stopped by. And thank you for everybody who watches this in the replay. And as always, God bless.